Welcome to the show, everyone. 1 hour live show where we talk about all things reselling. We're full-time resellers, and as you already know, he's Chris, I'm Jason, and this is episode, you ready for it, Chris? 21 of Two Flippin' Dudes.
It doesn't even make sense.
21. It's gone by so fast. Well, on tonight's show, as we said last week, we've got a guest with us tonight. Crispy's Flips is here. He's waiting with us in the backstage, and we'll bring him on in a little bit. So stay tuned for Crispy's Flips, Chris Yerdon, and we'll have a good conversation with him and get to hear about his reselling journey. And whether you're new or watching us for whether you come back or this is your first time, thanks for jumping in. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and excited that you guys are here watching the show with us. Chris, how's your week going so far? Another Thursday, here we are.
Yeah, man. Strange week, but good week. Short week for me. I was down in Miami from Friday afternoon, got back Monday evening. So kind of had one of those strange, short weeks. Yeah, sometimes hard getting back into rhythm after you take a few days off and have been away. And that was definitely the case on Tuesday. Was back into the rhythm yesterday and had a great day of thrifting, had a lot of fun. And here I am today, kind of back into a little rut dealing with eBay challenges, stupid stuff that's not the fun part of dealing with the business, but it's part of the business nevertheless. And also some exciting stuff too. Hopefully big update for my store is today I went in using the advice from our guest today, Chris Yerdon, and went in and made over 700 of my listings available internationally for shipping. I've always offered international shipping, but now I'm offering a second option that's cheaper for international buyers. So hoping that helps spur some sales.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's kind of exciting. And I was working on that kind of behind the scenes. It doesn't feel like when you're working on that sort of stuff, it doesn't feel like you're making progress, right? Because I'm not taking photos, listing stuff, shipping stuff. I'm just kind of doing administrative work, right? And that's what today was like. So it doesn't feel like progress, but I hope it feels like progress in a day or so when some of those international sales just start rolling in.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Very similar day as you, not as productive today. Had a little bit of a slow start, but I guess that happens. It's kind of frustrating when it happens, but I guess you roll with it, right? You've learned to roll with it in these, as a full-time reseller, that's what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Business, entrepreneur life, I guess, right?
Yeah, and I've just learned, for me, the best time is right first thing in the morning. I've got to get going. I've got to get focused. And a lot of times if I get out of that rhythm early and I have something kind of a kink in the plan, it really throws me off for the rest of the day. It's hard to get focused for the rest of the day. So definitely tomorrow I'm going to come in ready to go, focused, start listing or go to a yard sale, whatever I'm doing. But anyways, Sorry that your morning didn't go the way that you planned, but I'm glad you're rolling now. So
it is what it is. Any exciting just life updates worth sharing?
Not that I know of. No exciting updates my way. It's been a ho-hum week.
No worries. Did you get a chance to play some pool with Dad this week?
I did, yeah, and I actually had one of my better days. He may be watching, so I have to brag on myself here, just because. Usually I'll win 1 or 2 out of 10 games, but this was more, I think I won 4 out of 13. So I'm getting better in the ratio. He's pretty good.
Okay.
So
that is pretty good. I know
he's a good pool player.
I know he usually takes you to task, so that's good that you got some W's.
Yeah, he likes to rub it in a little bit too. So it was fun getting some wins this time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead and get right into the show, because we want to give Chris some time later on and have time to talk to him. I'm just going to kick it off, Chris, and show an item that I found at the thrift store this week. Kind of an interesting piece, actually. I found these. So I've got 4 of these stackable mugs, and World Market. You can see I paid $2 for each of these. But they're all dog themed, so that they stack. Oh. You can easily stack them on a counter. I've got 4 of them, all different dogs, colors, patterns. But yeah,
those are cool.
They are cool, right? I was thinking World Market is a place that is not in a lot of places. Like you have to be in a certain city that has a world market. Obviously, you can order online, but yeah, I should get around $30 to $40 for those. But $8 spent, and I think those were half price. Yeah, so they're $4 total. But world market mugs for the win.
That's a solid find, and like that sounds a lot like a potential viewer sale right there, right? You're talking about everyone loves their dogs. Who doesn't love a coffee mug?
Yeah, there you go. If you're watching and you want some world market mugs with some pretty sweet dog graphics on them, let us know. Put it in the comments.
Is that Mug Life, Pug Life? Do I see on that one?
Mug Life, Pug Life. You got it, Chris. Quick-witted.
Not usually, not particularly, but there you go. What else you got hiding back there? Anything else?
So I showed this in a live, so I'm sorry for double dipping, but maybe you weren't in the live and you didn't see it. But anyone know that logo right there? All time great. This is the Mamba Kobe Bryant shoes, and these are the on the inside it says Nemesis. So I paid up for these a little bit, $12 for these shoes. Soles are still in good condition. I mean, obviously someone probably just wore these on like a basketball court, so they're not going to be too torn up. But yeah, Kobe Bryant shoes do really well. I should get around, I'd say a minimum of $40 for these. Possibly there were some sold comps for 50 or 60. I don't know if I'll get that much, but yeah, $12 spent into 45 or so, we'll call it. But it looks like these are Nike. Is there a Nike? I don't know. Yeah, Nike. He was with Adidas for a while, but this is Nike. So
yeah, awesome find, man. I've never found Kobe's out in the wild. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I haven't either. So first pickup of Kobe's for me.
Nice. All right, I'll follow.
What you got? Show us.
I'll start us off with some. Let's see. I'll match your shoe game, but I'm going to take it a little bit of a different direction.
You're not showing another Kobe, right?
Not really Mamba style, but check these out. You know what these are.
I sure do.
Some shape ups. I haven't found shape ups. This is the first pair I've found since I've been in Florida. I feel like I found them pretty consistently out in Denver. I'm not sure if that's because more people wear shape ups in Denver than they do in Florida. I don't suspect that's true. I think it's just weird luck of the draw, but that's my first pair I found since at least July anyway. Haven't sold them in a while, so I don't know if comps have fluctuated, but I feel like that used to be like a $35, $40 shoe pretty consistently.
Yeah, it really did. I've got a pair that I've just been sitting on, but yeah, those were quick flips.
And it's a good size too, like women's size. You want to be in that like 7 to 9 range, and this is an 8, so
right in the middle there, sweet spot.
Yeah. So I'll stick on the shoes. Why not? That's what we're talking about right now. So this is a brand that I don't know that a lot of people know about. It's kind of unassuming when you look at it. The brand is Echo. You can see it on the tongue right there, ECCO. I think people are familiar with like more of their dress shoes, but what I've been doing well with is golf shoes by Echo, and they're usually spikeless golf shoes. This is more of a trainer shoe, like a running or trainer. I think they call them trainers. And I haven't looked up the comp on this specific model, but I've looked at similar ones before. I think we're talking about $40 to $50 on these in like, very, great to excellent condition. And I think these things will clean up into probably somewhere between great and excellent condition with a little bit of cleaning. I actually picked up 2 pairs of these, almost the same model, oddly in very different sizes. So they weren't from the same person, but
nice.
Yeah, excited to find those. I don't find a lot of good shoes at my local thrift, so I'm always a little bit more excited when I find something that has value, and that's a great brand. If you're not looking out for Echo, I pick up the training running shoes and definitely the golf shoes. Even the golf shoes in kind of like fair to good condition still get good money.
So yeah, you mentioned, and I've never picked up Echo before, so I'll have to look out for them. But you mentioned cleaning them up. What do you do to clean shoes? Wondering if you do the same thing that I do. If you use the magic eraser, if you have a different method.
I don't use the magic eraser a ton. I'll use them I used them on a pair of like really white kind of leather shoes, like these Air Maxes. That's all I did was use the magic eraser on these, and that seems to work good. On something like on these, I'll use Dawn dish soap hot water, and I use a aluminum bristled brush. So like a really stiff aluminum brush, and
Nice.
it's about like yay big. And I just use the soap hot water and that stiff brush, and it just cleans up these soles like really really nice. And then the tops, I'll just once I'm done cleaning the soles, the tops are usually like damp enough that I can just wipe it with a cloth, and it will clean up whatever's on the top for the most part.
Yeah, that sounds like a cleaner method than the magic eraser, where it just falls apart and crumbles all over the table.
Yeah, it's those are to me those are just like a frustrating thing. But there's certain shoes, like I said, like those Air Maxes, where it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
To use something like that when it's just kind of like scuffed up and has some dirt here and there. I find that those magic erasers are a nice quick fix as long as you're over a trash can, of course. But
yeah,
but I can't say enough about getting like an aluminum like brush like that. Holy crap, that changed like my shoe cleaning game as soon as I got like a legit brush like that.
nice. I actually don't have one of those, so maybe something I need to get.
I'll send you a link.
Here's a tribute to our former state there, Colorado Buffaloes. This is like a golf driver wood cover. So I picked it up for like $1. But yeah, really cool graphic here. I mean, these things new are pretty expensive, especially with these like mascots and the teams. So I'll probably get like anywhere from $10 to $15 plus shipping for this guy. And obviously it's lightweight. You throw it in a bag and it costs like $3 or $4 to ship. So go Buffaloes.
Awesome find. A little nostalgia there for you.
I know, right? Maybe I should just keep it and have it in the background or something.
That'd look nice up on that shelf.
Let's see, what else did I find here? Here's I've only found this brand one time, and I'm keeping with golf today. I just happen to have a lot of golf stuff. But this brand right there, I think I've mentioned this on the show before, but Turtleson is like a golf brand. Really nice. It kind of looks like a Peter Millar, similar fabric and like color and pattern. But yeah, Turtleson, there's the logo. These normally would go for in the 20s. But I got home and found that guy, little stain on the back. So, that's a bummer when you find flawed clothing, but fortunately it's on the back. I'll still list it and hope to get like $15 for it or something. So
I got to be honest with you, Jason. It's not like that stain was exactly like faint and small and hiding.
I know, right? This is proof that I'm moving way too fast, because look how bad this thing is. It's like a quick scan would have discovered that, but I was in a hurry, I guess, that day, as always.
I hear you. That's a good find, Turtleson. I've never heard of that brand. It wasn't on my radar screen, so thanks for sharing that. I dig that. Does anybody else have this experience where you get a notification from eBay? It typically happens for me when I haven't had like a sale like most of the day, or it's been really slow, and I get a notification and I'm excited. And it's one of those things where it says just for you, and it's eBay recommending an item to you. Well, this is one that I got yesterday. For some reason, I just looked at my screen and it was like in my recent searches or whatever, recent items. And they recommended this Coughlin's passport pouch and money belt, adjustable, safely carry valuables. Really nice little piece there. Thank you, eBay, for that spot on suggestion. I've been looking for a passport pouch and money belt for ages now. So thank you.
And now we know what you and Kim were talking about recently in a little side conversation: money belts or traveling.
I feel like I get these every couple of days, like a just for you from eBay. I don't know if anybody else out there gets those too, and I feel like they are never even close to spot on. Like you would think that it would be similar. Like I comp stuff all the time. I'm probably like hard to pin down for recommendations because I'm always comping all kinds of weird stuff at the thrift store, right? But you would think that, like, I've never searched for anything even like in the world of that. You would think that it would be something more similar to my recent searches, but I don't know. I don't know if anyone else experiences that. That has nothing to do with anything, I suppose. I got some fire to show you. Not a super common find for me. Because this is women's, and I don't go into the women's section much, but I'll pick women's stuff that ends up in the men's section. And look at that tag.
Look at the Levi on that.
Levi's jeans for women. Definitely a vintage looking tag for sure. I'm guessing 90s at the latest on this thing. I haven't like done my research on it, but nice little denim shirt piece here. And yeah, I'm pretty psyched about that. I'm guessing probably 25. Well, I'd probably say like $35
Yeah.
on this bad boy right here.
Yeah, that's a nice piece.
Yeah, pretty cool. And then this last one I'll show you is to make Papa Jason proud, always harping on me for not looking in the pants lately. I cherry picked the pants I was in the section for maybe 4 minutes. And
I don't know how I became Papa Jason, but there
Jason.
it is.
There you go. Adidas golf pants. Something I used to pick up from fairly regularly back in the day. I feel like this is probably a 25 to low 30s. I haven't comped them yet, and I haven't sold Adidas golf pants in a long time, but I should be asking you, Papa, what can I expect? And they're a good size too, big size, 40 by 30.
Well, son, let me tell you what you're looking for here. See that inside the waistband there, you've got like those little rubbery strips. That's a newer Adidas pant.
Nice.
Let's see, good size, and yeah, I'd say 25 to $30, including shipping.
Okay.
Yeah,
not bad.
And that's how you know, like for those watching, that's how you know the newer Adidas from the old ones don't have like that little grippy waistband on the inside.
Cool. Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know. So there you go. Making Jason, making Papa proud with actually pulling some pants.
Yeah, I'm just waiting on my check though, Chris. I haven't gotten that yet. My mentor check.
I didn't say anything about mentor. I said Papa.
All right. So
your rent check?
Yeah, my I'll show this guy. Check out this. I'm sticking with mascots too. Golf and mascots tonight. But the sweet Razorback sweatshirt. I may keep this, but see if you guys know this tag here. I've seen it on other items before, but Cheetah.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, Cheetah. I've seen a couple times on like more like swimsuits, athletic shorts, but this is just a beautiful piece for me. Probably more valuable to me than it is to others, but I had to pick it up. So this vintage sweatshirt here.
Cool. Fine. No, it's really awesome. I love those pieces.
Yeah, me too. So anyways, well, I want to bring in Chris because I want to have time to really get to talk to him. So Chris, I'm excited. We're going to have two Chris's on the show at one time. So I hope this doesn't
be super confusing and super awesome at the same time.
I know, right? The double Chris squared. But anyways, let's go ahead and bring him in. So we talked about it last week. He's on YouTube. He's on obviously reselling on eBay and other platforms. The thing I'm excited about hearing about is the fact that he sells quite a different category of stuff than Chris and I talk about on a regular basis. So he's into collectibles and toys, and I'm sure he'll talk more about that. But let's go ahead and bring him in. So welcome to the show, Chris. Woo! Crispy's Toys and Treasures.
What's going on?
Well, thanks for jumping in, Chris, and taking the time to do this.
I literally jumped into the screen.
You really did. It was like you just swam right in there.
Thank you for having me.
How's your night going? How's your
It is going. I didn't realize at first that you guys were on Central Time, so I was all like sitting there an hour before the show, like, oh, and then I realized your message said Central Time. So other than that, it's been going good.
You were really ready.
Yeah, I've been ready.
Yeah.
Where are those guys? I want to get going.
Well, I know you're familiar with the show and you're a viewer as well. But why don't you kick it off by telling those watching a little bit about you? Give us an intro, where you located, things like that. Whatever you think would be interesting to know.
All right. Well, I've been reselling for over 20 years. I was part-time for a very long time. I got started because basically the way I got started is I was working at KB Toys, and I picked up something. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. All right, let's skip out of that for now. So I've been reselling part-time for about 20 years. Forced into doing it full-time back in March of last year when I got laid off my job. I've been working in poker in casinos for over 15 years. And because of the pandemic, I was laid off back in March of last year. My casino still does not have poker back open, so I'm still out. So I decided rather than just sit around, collect my unemployment, and do nothing, I would just start pushing and doing the reselling full time. I had 125 listings when I was only doing it part time. And I'm currently, well, before I went on vacation, because I kind of slowed down a lot. Like I was doing really good about listing every week. So I at my max was a few weeks ago before I went on vacation, I was up to 775 listings.
Oh, wow.
So that really, that took a year to get there. But the biggest thing that I was really proud of is the fact that, like, I used to, when I was doing a part-time, as most part-timers know, you might go a few days without having a sale because you don't have a lot of listings.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the day that I decided to start going full-time, I have had at least one sale on eBay every single day since March 15th of last year. At least one every single day. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I've shipped something out every single day for well over a year now. So that was pretty cool.
That's an awesome achievement.
Yeah, I thought so too. I was really psyched. It's kind of funny because there was one day where I almost wasn't going to have anything. And what's has saved me a few times is offers. I send, if it gets like late in the day and I haven't had a sale yet, I start to get nervous. Like, I don't want my streak to end. So I'll send out like 20 offers, and that's what kind of turned me on to the offers. Now I just do them even if I've had 10 sales for the day. I try to send out at least 10 offers a day. If it's a slower day, might send out more, but I have a pretty good response. Like if I send out 20 offers, even if I might get one sale, I think that's a pretty good rate, really. And I'm not sending crazy offers, but I'm still making good money on the stuff. But yeah, that's how I discovered the offers options. But I built a shed. that was exciting. I finally decided to put some money into the business, and so that's been a journey. I didn't even know about social media and community for reselling until I got laid off and I had time to sit on the couch and really kind of do more surfing than I should have been doing. So yeah, that's when I discovered the YouTube and and everything else, and then that led me to TikTok. And it's I was telling Jason earlier, it's much easier for me to bust out a couple TikToks in a day than it is YouTube, because I feel like if I'm spending time doing YouTube videos, I'm neglecting my eBay store. That's my mentality, which I'm trying to get over. I'm trying to do more. I have been doing more YouTube videos, and I'm going to continue to try to do more of them. So like I've got one coming out soon that just basically talks about why I buy all, or not all, but why I started focusing mostly on buying in bulk. I love buying just huge collections from people. I buy a whole collection, I get my money back out of the first few pieces, and then I've got 100 things that are pure profit. It's so much nicer being able to buy that way.
And how do you oh, sorry.
No, go on.
Well, I was going to ask, like, are you looking on Facebook and looking for people getting rid of stuff? Or, I mean, obviously you're probably not getting stuff like that. I'm guessing on Facebook, if you're buying that much in bulk, or.
Yeah, it has been a combination of a few, like, there's somebody from YouTube that I've hooked up with a few times. Mr. Buys a Lot. I've gone to Pennsylvania and bought stuff from him a few times. But then there's a local auction house that does, since they had to start doing Facebook Live. They used to do all live auctions, but they couldn't do live, obviously, so they moved to Facebook, and now all they do is table deals. So you can do, and these table deals are amazing. Most focus on like one thing on the table, and if I can get that whole table for what that one thing is, like I said,
oh yeah,
like I might get the whole table for like $50, and I can sell one thing for 50, and then so that's the way I really have been focusing. And unfortunately, because I focus that way, that's why I had to build the shed, because the house started getting full.
Yeah. And the stuff you're finding is bulky. I mean, it's not like a single shirt that you're going to just tuck away in a nice little,
Exactly.
You've got some big stuff that needs a lot of space.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, you're primarily on eBay. I'm guessing, do you sell on Facebook as well?
I do. Yeah. I sell actually quite a bit on this past, maybe October, I think I started doing, I feel like I started doing the shipping right when they first started offering it on Facebook Marketplace. And I killed it really through the holiday season. I was doing a lot of my toys, a lot of the, because I have a toy company that I started a while ago to do all the local Comic Cons and stuff. So I do wholesale accounts with a lot of new toys. As far as some people may know them, Mego is like the 8-inch figures. It's like there's Spider-Man back there. That's a Mego.
Okay.
And then there's like reaction figures, which are a little bit smaller, kind of the G.I. Joe size figures. I wholesale those also. I wholesale Waxwork Records. I thought I had one of those around. But anyway, so I wholesale with these companies because I was doing local shows. So I started selling all these newer toys on Facebook Marketplace with a shipping option, and I was really doing really, really well with that. I haven't really gotten into selling like used collectibles on Facebook because I thought it was safer to sell, new stuff, because that way you don't really have to worry about them saying it's not what it is if I'm selling something brand new in the package.
Yeah.
Because I was worried, especially with Facebook earlier. I heard a lot of stories, with them very easy about returns, and I honestly, knock on wood, haven't had any problems with returns on Facebook Marketplace, thankfully.
Oh, that's good.
It's gone really well for me.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And I would imagine that's a great place to sell those toys. I mean, Facebook Marketplace, I'm sure is a great option. Obviously, Christmas is the perfect time, as people are looking to stock up. But so, I know you've been full-time you said, since the beginning of the pandemic, right?
Yeah, March of last year. So just over a year now. Yep.
And I know, obviously, you went from, a little over 100 listings up to almost 800. So you've been busy. But like, what does a typical work day look like for you?
I wake up and first thing I do is the shipping. Anywhere from like this morning, even, it's only my second day that my store's been turned back on because I just got back from Arizona. I had 7 or 8 between Facebook and eBay. I had 8 things I had to get boxed up. So that's the first thing I'll do. I'll wake up, get those packed up. And I should take advantage of, and I have a lot of people tell me this, I should start doing postman come pick them up, but I still bring them to the post office every day. Because my theory at first was that I liked that escape from the house for a little while in the morning, because I would also take advantage of hitting a thrift store on my way back home. So I kind of like that. So I try to do that and be home by 11 o'clock so I can focus, a few hours on doing my listings and stuff. But yeah, so I try to do, when I'm really focused on it, I'm kicking out anywhere from 10 to 20 listings on average, probably. But I mean, because I say that because like some days I might only do 2, but the next day I do 40. And that's also an advantage when I buy. Like, I think a lot of people saw that I bought, there's a couple here. I got a lot of wrestling figures recently. I got 80 elite wrestling figures for $800.
Wow.
And anybody that knows these, like, I actually just sold, I had 2 of him, of the Stardust. That's why he's sitting here, because this is the second one I have to list. I just sold one yesterday or the day before for $39.
Wow.
So, I mean, I made my money back out. So like I said, I got 80 of them. I made my money back out of the first, I think I sold 28 of them, and I already had $1,000 out of 28 sales.
Wow.
So, I've got almost half of them gone, or less than half of them gone, and I still have all my money. So that was cool. And then, so when I've got stuff like that, it's so easy to just do the sell similar. I list one.
Right. Yeah.
All my pictures taken. I list one. All I have to do is change a few letters, and then so I listed all 80 of those in 2 days.
Yeah.
So, and that's again, that's why I like big collections like that, when they're all very similar items. And, same thing when I buy a Hot Wheels collection, I can get them all, really listed really fast. And that's also probably why, like, I'm envious of you guys, because I was showing you earlier, I have all this really cool clothing, but to me, it would probably take me all day to get 3 pieces of clothing listed, because I'm still like not sure of exactly how to do it. And, but that's one of my goals for this year, was to get better at listing clothing. Cause I do have a lot of good, like back there, that Harlem, that Globetrotters jersey is like a 5X.
Oh, whoa. Is it listed already?
No, none of this clothing is listed.
Yeah, that'll probably go fast once it's listed.
I need it's Meadowlark Lemon. Everybody knows who that is.
Yeah.
But
well, the thing with your, the way that, obviously, if I were to step into your operation, it would take me twice as long to list some of those unique pieces that you're getting. But another key important thing is, like, say, clothing is obviously not going for as much money. So I could list 30 items in a day, and you'd probably only have to list 10 or 15 of those things that you have, and we'd be about at the same amount of item, I guess, like value online. So even though you may not be listing as much, you're listing stuff that the sales price is a lot higher. So huge benefit to like the niche that you've kind of put yourself into.
I do like that. Like I was watching somebody else the other day that said that they don't count, like that I listed 20 things today. They try to do at least $100 a day, which makes more sense to me. They try to do a certain dollar amount each day instead of number of listings. Cause like you were saying,
yeah,
that makes a lot of sense too. So I guess people can do it either way, but
yeah. I'm always looking at like, it shows you when you go into your listings, like the total value of all your listings. And I'm like, all right, as long as this keeps going up,
yeah,
it doesn't really matter what the listing count is, even though we talk about listing count and stuff like that.
Right.
Well, so I'm curious because I'm sure this is going to be a hard question to answer just because you do get a lot of unique stuff. But what's like the craziest item you found or sold, or just maybe a couple of those that come to mind, like some weird things that you've thrifted?
Weird things. That's a good question.
I did see your video last about the human hair and the wee bargain box.
Yeah, I've got that. Actually, that's funny you say that because I haven't listed it yet because I don't know. Here it is, the human hair. You know what's funny is this stuff is actually like really valuable. Like 2 of these strands have not been taken out of the bag. One of them looks like it might be. But if this was a sealed box, this thing is like 120, 130 bucks.
Yeah, that's wild.
I guess they're weaves. Obviously I'm not an expert of using these, but but yeah. But the funny thing is, that speaking of that wee bargain box, I only sold 2 of the items from the box and I got all my money back. So I ended up keeping the New Balance. Was it New Balance? What was the shoes that I got in the box?
I think so.
I think they were New Balance. I ended up keeping those because they were my son.
Right.
And there was a friend's Lego set in there that I'm keeping because I was like, I already got my money back out of selling just 2 items from the box. So would I suggest it to people? Probably not. But
yeah,
it's nice. I mean, I didn't need the inventory. Obviously, I already have too much stuff, but I just did it for an experiment and it paid off for me. But I guess if I was stuck at home, I couldn't leave the house, I needed something, I may consider doing it, but you're not going to get it fast. It took me 7 weeks to get it after I paid for it.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. But anyway, so one of the coolest things though is an estate sale in Arizona. This was probably about 9 years ago. I went to an estate sale in Arizona that had records for sale. If anybody that knows records, progressive rock from the 70s is like the thing to buy. And bands that people may know from that era maybe are like Grateful Dead is kind of considered progressive rock a little bit. Frank Zappa, a lot of people know who that is. But then there's a lot of smaller groups that people don't know. And one of the ones that I bought a lot of the albums at this estate sale. They were all $1 each. I ended up buying 105. They gave me 105 records for $100. I got one from a band called Museo Rosenbach. It's an Italian band. And the album is Zarathustra. Zarathustra. I wish I had a picture to show you. But I bought it based on how cool I thought the album was. I ended up selling it for $1,500.
No way. 15 one album.
One album for 15. That's my best ever flip. That one album for 1,500. It was sick. And apparently it's like considered, like if you actually Google Italian progressive rock, every article says it's like probably the best ever Italian progressive rock album released. And I guess it's never, or at that time maybe had never been available on CD. And the one I got was that was the first printing of it, the one that I bought. But
wow.
I didn't know at the time, but now I would certainly know to look for it again. But I'd probably never find it again. That's why it sells for so much, because it doesn't come up very often.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that was pretty amazing. But I wish I had. And I bought, like I said, 105 records. There must have been 1,000 records of this. I wish I had walked into the estate sale with $1,000. I would have just bought the entire record collection, even though there was 10 people already looking at it. I would have said, no, I'm taking it all. Because if I sold 4 records for $500 or more of the 100 that I bought. 4 of them went for $500 or more. So
wow, that's wild.
If I bought 4 and the 100 that I bought, how many more were there that were, that I didn't know anything about that were in that same range. So that could have been like one of the best record collections I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's an awesome flip. That's one that we can all dream about for sure.
I feel like I've got my lifetime best out of the way already, because I don't think I'm ever going to top that.
I hope you do.
Well, the only other chance I have is selling some of the prototype things that I got, which I don't have any. They're all upstairs. But in the truck full of toys I got, I did video on that on YouTube. At the pandemic, I bought a truck full of toys for $4,000, and there was like all kinds of prototypes in there. I got a couple here. I forgot about these. I haven't, and like these are ones I'm not going to sell probably because I'm afraid of them breaking and shipping. But like this is a prototype. You can see it's all hand painted.
Oh wow!
That's actually resin. It's really soft, like gooey like when you touch it. It's actually got like metal. And you can actually see like the ones that have fallen apart because a couple of them broke, like Frosty the Snowman broke. You can see it's total plaster. Some of them, like this one, you can see the metal. There's metal poking out of it. That's just the way that they would make these back. There it is. These are all just prototypes that they made to figure out what they wanted the action figures or things to look like. There's a Tweety that fell apart.
Huh.
But the Marvin the Martian, see, there he is. The Marvin the Martian is one of my favorite ones. Unfortunately, his head pops off and his hand is loose. But these are things that are like probably are worth like hundreds of dollars because they're one of a kind prototypes.
Right.
But like, I'm afraid if I sell them, I get a lot of money for them, and then the person says they fell apart shipping, and so I'm just going to keep them in my collection probably.
Yeah.
So crispy Chris, that's fascinating to me that you go in and you drop 4Gs on this big bulk buy. I mean, tell us a little bit, like how did you know a lot about what you were looking at? Was this a blind buy, or how did this whole thing go down?
It was mostly a blind buy. Yes, it was 50 totes of toys. That's all I knew was 50 totes. I saw it in his YouTube video. He showed it. So I saw maybe 40 or 50 items because he like pretty much just took the top off of each tote. You could see like one or two things on top, just based on the fact that I saw like a really expensive item in almost every single tote. Like almost every single tote had something that looked like it was like $100 item in it. I was like, I figure I could make my money back quick. So I did it. I made the deal with him. It ended up being those, like I said, some of the other, I've already sold some samples, gotten hundreds of dollars. I've made about 15 grand off the deal, and I've sold about half of it so far. So it ended up being a good deal. And that was my first dive into being full-time and picking up like a huge purchase at one time. That's how I built the shed. It was thanks to that purchase. I was already doing well being, full-time and not really, you couldn't leave the house. So it wasn't going anywhere, spending any money. And I knew I wanted to continue to improve the business. And I figured, it's like, especially when you're first starting out full-time, you really need to put some of the money back into it. And that's why I made this purchase from him, and it ended up being much better than I thought it was going to be. But
that's awesome.
Mostly toys. Anybody that knows toys, like I got like almost every figure from the old Batman animated series from the 90s. I got most every, like, Mr. Freeze, Killer Croc, Poison Ivy. I got one that's Combat Belt Batman that sold for $200 for that one figure. I got just tons of Nightmare Before Christmas stuff. This guy, it ended up being a guy that used to work for Warner Brothers. That's why I have all these prototypes. He was a president of the Warner Brothers studio stores that used to be in the malls. He was the manager, whatever. He overran all the stores. And he also he drew Popeye comics. He drew that guy up there. I forgot what his name is. That's why I've got that. That's one of his comics, or that's one of his characters. But yeah.
Gotcha.
And
so
then,
you knew based on like who this fellow was that you weren't walking into like, 48 out of the 50 totes just being full of like, cheap Legos and stuff like that. This was like, you knew you were talking to somebody legit.
Yeah, exactly. So it was, I didn't know it when I made an agreement to buy it, that's who it belonged to though. I just saw items from the totes, because I know action figures, I know toys. And this was of these 50 totes, I would think maybe it was 95% toys and toy related, like statue stuff like that. The only thing, I think there was a set of bongos in there, which actually are really nice, like $100 bongos, like Carlos Santana bongos or something like that. But I think that was like one of the few things that there might have been a couple t-shirts and some books, but other than that, it was all toys. So it's kind of right up my alley. I just love working with toys, but
That's amazing.
That was quite a deal. It was scary. The first time you do that for your business, you shell out that kind of money,
Oh yeah.
It was scary, but it ended up being worth it in the end for sure.
That's awesome. Share with us. We got a great question here from David from Lion Creek Boutique, and he's asking about, will you go back to your old job? And I'll make that sort of a compound question. Are you thinking about going back to that old job? Like, what's the future look like? Like when you're looking forward at Crispy Flips, like, what's the future look like?
That's a great question. The future is bright. I don't have any sunglasses to put on, but anyway, yeah. So I actually just went to lunch yesterday with a couple of my I'm actually manager of the poker room, one of the supervisors, and rumor is that they're going to want us back in July, right around the middle of July. So, am I going back? I still don't know. If there's anybody watching this, yes, I'm going back. But I don't know for sure. I may have thought about going back part-time at least, just to do that, but I don't know for sure. I just enjoy having like for example, my trip to Arizona was almost spur of the moment. Like I just it's like I need to get away. You can't do that really if you have a real job. It was like,
yeah,
and the unfortunate part is that I had to put because I'm a one-man show, so I have to put my show on my store on vacation to do it. So I'm not making any sales. I have Amazon FBA, but I don't really have. I think I probably only have 50 items there, so I'm not really making that big of money from Amazon FBA. That was the only thing that I still had turned on. Everything else I had to put on vacation. So we'll see. But I'm guessing that Crispy's Toys is going to move on to bigger and better things and not go back. My goal is 1,000 listings by the end of the year and 2 sheds.
Yeah, you can do it.
2 sheds. I love it. Like a lot of us on here are like goo goo gaga about this idea of having like a shed, and you're like, yeah, I got a shed, but I'm looking at 2 sheds. So it's like next level over here. $4,000 bulk buys, multiple sheds. This guy's just big business. But it's cool that you can build like big business, and you're talking about reselling toys and collectibles, right? Stuff that you love.
Yeah.
I love that it ties back your former career, right? Like working at the toy store, it all pulls it together. It's just
for sure.
Fascinating to me. But man, you get some awesome clothes in the background there. You got to either get that stuff flipped, or you got to send that stuff over. I'll send my address over. You can just send it right over.
I know, right? Yeah, I need to get some of those listed. The Zelda. This is the one that I think a lot of people have seen if they follow me on TikTok. Got to get the Zelda sweatshirt listed.
Yeah.
I mean, this is original.
You got some hot sellers there.
64. I mean, this is all single stitch. It's all like old school. But yeah, I need to get that. It's all Hanes tag. So yeah, I need to get some of that clothing listed. And that's going to be, I need you guys to like send me messages. Chris, you get some list. Let's see. Let's say I'm going to do at least 5 pieces of clothing a week. And then I'm going to try to do more than that. Say by the end of next week, I'll have 10 pieces of clothing up, let's say.
If you leave it up to me, my messages for motivation are going to be like, Chris, send me 5 items of clothing this week that you didn't list. That'll be my motivation. Send me that Harlem Globetrotters jersey. Get rid of it.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, Chris, we've got time for one more question. I want to address this maybe in like 30 seconds or a minute. I know there's a lot of things that you can answer with this, but what, maybe for someone watching that's on the newer end of reselling, what's one piece of advice that's kind of a crucial piece of advice in your opinion that you could speak to that person on?
For somebody newer, I think the main thing is if you're just getting started, stick with what you know until you really feel comfortable. And that's what I did. And, obviously that's my main thing still, but really don't try to jump right in and go full board immediately, because it really, like I said, I was part-time for over 20 years, just really 100 listings, just kind of learning it and everything. And I learned a lot on my own I didn't know about social media and stuff. So I learned the hard way. And, I guess hopefully that answered the question.
No, it's good.
My number one advice is definitely start with what you know, even if it's just stuff around your house to get started. Figure out shipping. You're going to lose your most money at the beginning by doing shipping wrong. I did anyway. I know a lot of people that do lose money at the beginning by telling somebody it'll cost $5 to ship, and it costs you $25 to get it to them.
Yeah, I think which is why what you just said is really important. Get kind of a foundation of what you know and kind of learn all aspects of it, from shipping to sourcing to what it sells for, comps, things like that. And then once you get familiar, you can kind of branch out.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, really good piece of advice. I like that. Well, this has been a lot of fun. I wish we could go longer, but unfortunately we're out of time, Chris.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for taking time out of your schedule to come on and tell us about your journey, your reseller journey, and all the things you're doing.
Indeed. I will watch the rest of the show. Let's get going.
Well, have a good night, Chris.
Thank you.
We'll see you.
Too.
Take care, Chris. That's awesome. And Chris, thanks too for, kind of the two of the biggest changes I've made to my store in recent months have been because of conversations I had specifically with you, Chris. First, jumping in a Facebook marketplace, you were a big influencer on me on that. And then what I did today, by getting over 700 listings ready to ship direct worldwide. Chris even sent me his country exclusion list a few weeks ago. I finally got around to executing all that today. But so thanks for the accountability. He's coming on the show. I'm I can't not have done that yet,
Yeah, I think he'll easily hit that 1,000 goal mark that he's wanting. Yeah. I mean, from 100 to almost 800 in a year, he's on pace to go well over that. So.
And the other thing I'll say too is thanks for teaching us about Italian progressive rock. I know Colts Comics, Jeremy's excited about that too, but Italian progressive rock, I love it. Well, how about it, Jason? Why don't we play a Flippin game?
Let's do it.
So we got 5 Flippin questions, 2 Flippin dudes. We'll have 1 Flippin winner at the end of this. We're going to need your support, though, for question number 5, your participation. So stick around for question number 5. You might determine the winner of tonight's game. Let's jump right into with question number 1. Number 1 is the biggest sale of the past 7 days. And here is mine right here. I got sales rolling in, by the way, as we speak during the show. I love this. Jason, I'll go first. You went first. I won last week. Come on.
I'm not. That was a mistake. I can't see your screen. Here, let me kick mine out. Okay, we got you in.
There it is. So my biggest sale of the week was this Ralph Lauren sport coat. Interesting sport coat here. It's 100% bamboo. I don't know if anybody out there has ever bought or sold or owned anything that was a bamboo article of clothing, but this is 100% bamboo. This thing sold quick for me. I got full asking price, $40 plus $11 shipping. So all in, the buyer was $51.
$51, nice. All right, Chris, I see your $51 and I will raise you.
Yes.
Not much, but I sold this set of Williams Sonoma plates, and I'll show you the back there. There's the Williams Sonoma brand on the back of the plate. Most of these, I picked up 14 of these. I had already sold the 7 before. This was like the more faded set that I had, and so I priced it lower. You can see the details kind of coming off there, but got a total of $78.86. So I believe it sold, full price, the 53 plus shipping. So $78.86 this week. That's my biggest.
Dang, great sale. I actually had a Williams Sonoma sale too. I don't know if you remember those grill tools I picked up.
I do remember those. Yeah.
Those actually sold just yesterday. I packed them and shipped them out this morning. So Flippin' scoreboard a little different this week. Jason with the chili pepper bottles won, since Jason's the official king of those.
I'm loving the update right there.
Bottles. So Jason, look at all the chili peppers in there too. Look at that artwork. Jason Chili
It's like a
Peppers
mystery potion, it looks like.
yeah, or something, or like tequila with a whole bunch of worms or whatever, mezcal. So Jason won, Chris nothing. Let's move on to question number 2. Biggest profit of the past week. That's after shipping in fees, and that's the last one. Here we go. Smartwool, a rare find for me, especially a rare find down here in Florida. Big time outdoor brand. Here's the logo right there. Smartwool. So 100% merino wool, kind of base layer piece. Sold in just a few days, and I got full asking price, $44.95 plus 5 shipping, so $50. I made a profit of $34 on this after shipping and fees because I paid only $4 for this piece.
Nice. What did you say the profit was? I missed it.
$34.
$34. Smartwool's a great brand.
Love it.
You just don't see it that often.
No.
All right, here we go. Our favorite brand on Blazers, Brooks Brothers Explorer. Picked this up for $6 like 3 weeks ago. Sold for that full price, $63.86. And that left me with $43.29 profit on this guy.
Awesome, Flip. Love those Brooks Brothers jackets. I've never picked up the Explorer. Can you show that tag?
Yeah, I was just going to show the tag. You can see Brooks Brothers Explorer, and then it says Fitzgerald fit, which I don't really know what that means, but
I don't either. But
hopefully
he sounds like Fitzgerald's got to be a really sophisticated person, especially if he doesn't go by the nickname Fitz. Then you know he's sophisticated. So nice one there. Nice flip. Love that. So here we go. Jason with the
chili pepper bottles.
Used bottles too. Chris with the shirts. Nothing. Jason running away with this one. This is usually my category, so feeling like a comeback hopefully here. So we're looking at fastest sale from the past 7 days. And mine here was, it's so often these Polo Ralph Laurens too, and it came in with another Polo Ralph Lauren. I picked up this piece just last week. I listed it Friday morning. It sold Friday afternoon, and so total of 5 hours and 22 minutes. I'm going to point out on this one here, this isn't just your typical like polo style shirt. It's a long sleeve. It's also got the little horse down there. And the model is featherweight mesh. So I've done well with these interesting ones. It's even a smaller size and medium, which I don't pick up in a lot of standard Polo Ralph Lauren. So don't just think that like I always sell these like Polo Ralph Laurens really fast or these Ralph Laurens really fast. This is not like a super common piece. I wouldn't call it rare and special either. But anyway, I got $21 including shipping on an offer for this thing. So $4 into 21, not a huge profit item, but these unique polo pieces, these uncommon polo pieces do really well for me. In fact, it wins me this category quite often. I don't know if I've won yet today, but we'll see what Jason has.
Well, we'll see. But I have picked up those featherweights in that same size, and I will still pick them up, even medium, because of that featherweight.
Yep.
Here's a brand Chris. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with this, but there's the tag right there, Outdoor Research. Great brand, kind of like Smartwool. I don't find it that often, but I can't beat you on this one. It sold the same day, 9.5 hours, and I got a total of $30 on a best offer for this guy. Listed this week. What's that?
Great sale. I love one of my personal favorite brands and a great brand to flip too.
You're on the board.
On the board, Chili Pepper Bottles 1 shirts, or Chili Pepper Bottles 2 shirts 1. We need more shirts. Question number 4, slowest sale of the week. This is my favorite category. I love getting rid of that old inventory.
Let's see what you got here.
So actually a pretty nice little sale here for old inventory. I'm actually surprised these stuck around as long as they did. Not all New Balance shoes are hot sellers or good sellers, but this is like a good model with like usually those bigger numbers tend to be better models. But this is an RC 1400. This is a running racing shoe. So I expected this to move a little bit faster. It was in really nice condition. Kind of a bigger size for women. It's a size 10, and women's shoes in general have been moving a lot more slowly, I'd say, over the last 8 or 10 months for me. But anyway, I got these went to Canada, direct shipping to Canada. I got a total of, what did I get for these things? I got full asking, so $35 plus 15 shipping to Canada. I picked them up January the 4th, 2020 at a little thrift store you might be familiar with, Jason. Mile High Thrift. So 498 days to get rid of these New Balance shoes, but I still made a tidy little profit on these.
And don't be fooled. That's no little thrift store that he's talking about.
That is the thrift store.
So just curious on those. Did you lower the price on it? Because 35 plus 15 shipping, I mean, that's a decent price to have them for over a year and a half. I mean, did you have them much higher or did they just hold that price?
I suspect I started those at like probably $42, and then just brought the price down a little bit because I had them forever. And I've noticed, women's athletic shoes have really slowed down for me and the prices have gone down. So I've been shrinking my asking price on those.
Yeah, as have I. All right, here it is. Sold yesterday. This is a shirt I relisted, and this goes way back to beginnings of full time for me. This Pendleton shirt. And you would think, I mean, it is a medium, but you would think Pendleton would not take that long to sell. But the reason why it did, besides the fact that it's a medium, is up there at the top. It's cotton, 100% cotton. Cotton Pendletons just don't do well. And finally got rid of it from October 17th, 2018, 942 days. I got that full price, 10 plus 5 shippings. I think this was one where I had a watcher on it. And I sent an offer and they accepted. So
nice. That's a miserable sale price for Pendleton, but I hear you. I got some Pendleton cottons that are sitting around too. I always my eyes get like really big when I see that beautiful Pendleton tag, and it really is a pretty tag. But I can't help but buy them, even if they're cotton. I know I'm going to sit on them for a while. Glad you got rid of that one. You almost doubled me up on that one.
Yeah, and that's a rare. I mean, even the cottons go for twice that, 20, 25, somewhere in there. So
yeah, I'm typically, for me, the cotton. Yeah, exactly, low 20s to 25 for the cotton ones, but they don't move particularly fast for me. All right, there we are, flipping scoreboard. Jason with the chili pepper bottles 3, Chris with the shirts 1. Nice one, Jason. Can't beat 900 something days. So now we're on to our question number 5. This is where we're going to need the fan participation. You're going to vote on who had the best pick of the week. The game is already decided. Jason is the winner, but I can still potentially get some street cred, right, for winning this one. So you're going to go ahead and put a J in the chat if you think Jason's pick is the best pick of the past 7 days. And you're going to put a C in the chat if you think my pick is the best pick of the last 7 days. Again, these are items we've picked up over the last week. And your definition of cool is whatever you want it to be. It doesn't have to be the most valuable item. It just, you might resonate with it.
You might just want to vote for me. I mean, whatever it is.
So this has been hanging back there this whole darn time, and y'all didn't even ask about it. So here we go. This is a vintage Florida Gators. You can see Mr. I don't know if he has like the mascot as a name, but he's Mr. Gator for tonight. And nice color blocking on this. So this is kind of like really hot and really in right now. People love that color blocking. And the tag here is the game. So an extra large tag, and we flip it over. Definitely see that like kind of vintage look on that tag, and you can see the game, which is they're more known for their hats, but there you go.
Yeah,
it's the brand logo right there. I'm thinking that this is probably a $30 item. I'm going to list it on eBay. I'm also going to try listing it in some other places too, where some younger, hipper folks might really resonate with these bright colors and this color blocking. But I think a really cool piece. If I wasn't a University of Miami Hurricanes fan, I might even rock this piece.
Are you sure you don't want to put it on? That's been our trending habit lately.
I will not wear a Gators piece.
All right, here's my piece, Chris. You already got a peek on it because you're in my live, but check out this hat. I saw it, just had to get it. This bright orange camo. It's like a really heavy cotton vintage tag there. See if you can see that. Is that DC? I don't know that brand. OC? I don't know. But it says Mountain Man, and it's Fayetteville, Arkansas, which is the town that I'm in. So check out that camo hat. That's as far as it's going down on my head.
Man, that thing's sick. I love the high crown on that too.
The video is having a hard time. It's like, what is that? I don't know how to pick up the colors on this.
Man, that thing sits super high in your head. Is it because it just doesn't does it not fit? Oh, I got the bun. So but it's also really tight. And I've got it like expanded all the way. So maybe I'll just tag man bun life.
Yeah. Man bun life. There you go. But check out that. Vote J if you like this hat. Vote C if you like the Florida Gator shirt, which is also a pretty sweet piece hanging in the back there.
I love that hat. That's gangster, man.
I love that they have the two-tone color thing going on with your shirt.
Oh, thanks, dude. The color blocking. Yeah, if you
you
rocked that like downtown Fayetteville and you were wearing one of those shooting shirts, you know, like what the hunting shirts, like a Cabela's or what's one of those Browning, like if you were wearing like a Browning with the pad right here and that hat, like you'd be a big man on campus down there.
I don't know, man. I'm just too old. Just too old. They'd be like, he's a wannabe.
Yeah, but I mean, you probably fit in more with the old hunting folk, you know.
Maybe if I just carry this mug around, hike s'more.
That's a cool mug too. All right, let's get those votes in. Go ahead and put a J in the chat if you think that Mountain Man orange camo hat that Jason had, trucker style hat that Jason has. Go ahead and put a J in the chat if you think this color blocking, vintage the game, University of Florida Gators polo shirt is the find of the week.
Man, it's pretty even right now.
If Jason cracks open a Paps while wearing that hat, I will vote for him. Well, there you have. He's Jeremy Colts Comics is holding out. Oh, and he actually went.
It's in here, Jeremy. Just take my word for it.
He already went in and put the C in because he thought to himself. He says, "You know what? Jason's not gonna crack a PBR."
Oh man, I think you got it, Chris. It's your round. Even though this is a sweet hat, can't top the Florida Gators shirt.
Well, thanks everyone who voted. I think we're all winners here. The one thing we can't do is we can't put those two items together. I just don't think you could wear the color blocking shirt.
I think for the sake of everyone else around, that bright of orange on someone would just be horrendous. You'd have to wear sunglasses around that person.
Well, do we have a question of the night?
We do, yeah. Our question of the night, which we normally do, biggest flip or just a cool flip this week. Doesn't have to be biggest. I know we say biggest, but just tell us about a flip that you had before we end the show this week.
So while people are telling us, like typing in their coolest flip, a couple of sales that I had roll in during the show, which is pretty cool.
Show. Wow.
Yeah. I sold actually I can we have the power of shared screen. I can show these puppies. Let me see here. They're not actually puppies. I don't sell puppies, but here we go. I got this Joseph.
How do you ship a puppy?
I'll just leave that one there. Joseph A. Banks blazer piece. Paid $5 for it and sold it for best offer $30 plus 11 shipping. The key here is the 50R size, really big size. I'm typically hunting for 48 or larger. Sometimes I'll pick up like 46 large or bigger. The other thing about this that helps set it apart from a really crowded market is these gold buttons that you see there too. That can help. Otherwise, a plain blue blazer is going to really get lost in a sea of a whole lot of Joseph A. Banks blazers. But if you want to stand out, bigger sizes and some gold buttons will help you out.
Hey, before you go on to the next one, I want to see that picture again of the one where you have the flap open. Are you holding it or did you? Oh, wow.
So if you zoom in on this, where'd it go? Got to click on it and then I got to.
Oh, you got a little.
You can see there's a little like a clip, like I guess what would you call that? Like an easel clip, like an art clip.
Okay.
I just I do that to do the inside so you can see the tag right there and just see that it's not soiled or whatever.
Nice.
I also do like a bigger open one like that too. This one I'm holding one side and clip the other side. A little bit of photo magic there for you. And what's the other one? So that's a good, I mean, I had a really slow day and I had some eBay issues earlier in the day. So I'm happy to start having some sales rolling. I can't tell you how happy I am to get a couple of pretty good sales too. And then here's another one. One of these Harrington jackets. I do really well with these Ralph Lauren Harrington jackets, whether it's a polo Ralph Lauren or in this case, it's a polo golf Ralph Lauren. These always sell really well for me, usually for about $40. Bigger sizes a little bit better, but this one was $35 plus 10 shipping, so $45 altogether. And yeah, these are good sellers for me. Really consistent. I usually don't hang on to these for more than a month. And this one was probably about a month, maybe 5 weeks. So
nice. Good sale during the show.
I paid up for it too. I paid $11 because I was at a Goodwill, which, you know, is the nature of the beast lately with prices around here at Goodwill. I was willing to pay up for it $11 because I knew that it's just kind of like a no-brainer $40+ sale. So
yeah, good sale. Speaking of good sales, Leslie says vintage NASCAR jacket paid $10, $135 in a week. Wow.
Love that.
Set of Cheech and Chong action figures for $100. Way to go, Trisha.
Really cool.
David has a really cool one. He didn't say how much he sold it for, but a Disney Jurassic Park short sleeve button up shirt was the cool flip of his week.
Dang, I wish some of these people could share their screen.
I know. I really want to see
action figures. I want to see this NASCAR jacket. I want to see this Disney Jurassic Park piece.
Let's see here. Alex bought a 1962 Polaroid camera set in a name brand leather case with original manual and everything. Got it for $5. Super excited. Had a terrible sell through rate, but still sold in 30 minutes. Wow.
Love that. Get it out the door. This is barely done taking the photos and the thing's already out the door.
You know, that's something I see, those like old cameras, but I've never actually bought one before. And I know that some of those have some value, but never taken a chance on it.
I got Colt's Comics saying, you know what I miss? Joseph A. Banks commercials on TV every 5 minutes, LOL. You know, that's right. I don't feel like I've seen those commercials in quite some time. I hope Joseph is doing okay, or whoever that guy was that, you know, had that, like, you had like a good raspy voice, if I remember right too, right? Or is that the Men's Warehouse one that I'm confusing it with?
I don't know either of those. So I'll leave that one between you and Jeremy. Jay sold an old GameCube Animal Crossing for $65 in a week or so. Own personal copy.
Nice. I didn't know Animal Crossing, like, that's that like game that was like really big for, I don't know, maybe it's still really big right now. I thought it was like a mobile game or something like that. I didn't realize there was an actual like old GameCube game, Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just out of the know on all these items. And we'll end on this one. Tony P says sold a Calvin Klein denim shorts to South Korea for $20. Way to go, Tony.
Love those international sales too. Your Tony's right on my wavelength right now.
Yep. Well, thanks so much for sharing your sales and wins this week with us, guys. We appreciate that. And as we mentioned, we would love to see some of those. Too bad we can't see what you sold. But we do want to thank you for watching this week, and thanks again for Chris joining us on tonight's show. And I threw this up earlier, but I'll put it up there again just in case you're wanting to connect with Chris and you don't know how to get a hold of him. He's got a couple avenues here: YouTube, Crispy Toys and Treasures, TikTok and Instagram, Crispy's Flips. So if you're looking for Chris, go check him out on any of those that you're interested in. So
definitely worth checking them out. You know, like we think all our guests are awesome. That's why we bring them on, right? And these are people that we watch and learn from. And I told you like two things that Chris has, you know, been sort of like an advisor for me on that have been like big things for my business. Well, we know the first one's a big thing. Facebook Marketplace has been great. So thanks, Chris. We're hoping this international thing is a great thing too, but he's someone definitely that we can all learn from. We're learning from him. So we hope you do too. So thanks, Chris. Really had fun having you on the show too and seeing all those pieces. And I'll send you my address, by the way, too, so you can send that Globetrotters jersey and all those clothes that you aren't going to list next week. I'm just kidding. I hope you list them and make a bunch of money.
I bet he does. He'll get them up. All right. Well, hope you guys have a great week reselling, and we'll catch you on the next show next Thursday at 7 Central, 8 Eastern. So come back and join us again next week.
Thanks, everyone. And don't forget, take a second. If you maybe cracked a smile and didn't hate tonight's show, maybe go down and hit that like button down below. If you're not following Jason's channel, take a second to go do that too, and hit the bell so you get a notification when we go live. And if you're looking to do any shopping on Amazon or just need some reselling stuff or just need to buy groceries, if you click on any of those links down below and then do your shopping, it helps support our channel. And it doesn't cost you any extra money. Just do your normal shopping and just click on one of those links first. And by the way, Andrew, I see you in the chat. Hope you're doing well, buddy.
All right, guys. Take care. Have a great week.